what's up? It's Kit time for another video. And guess what, guys? I've been looking around the catalog and stuff, and I said, like, hey, look at this. It's one of those squid jigs. It's the Z Slow Squid from Sea Falcon. As you can see, that's such a beautiful jig. This comes in at 90 grams. This. And the size is actually quite good for, you know, going to like even shallow areas, because it's still compact. And guess what? Even in shallow waters, you'll find squid this big, probably even bigger. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to rig this, but we're going to rig it in a different way. Okay. And this type of rigging is probably something that would be closer to what an inchuku would be, rather than a slow jig. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. And hey, by the way, if you're new to the channel, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today, we're going to be rigging the Sea Falcon Z Slow Squid. It looks so pretty. I feel kind of feel bad using this, but hey, you know what, we have it. Martin sent it to us again. Thank you very much, Martin. And then we are going to rig it. Okay, we're gonna rig it, and we're gonna rig it in inchuku style. Okay, and if you don't know what inchuku is, it's basically another way of jigging, but it's a much more simpler way of jigging, because all you have to do is just drop it down and reel it. And anyone can do it, and more importantly, it is very, very effective. Okay, so here we go. Now, these hooks are going to be a bit too big for this, but you know what? We're going to use them because, well, we are targeting bigger fish anyway. But ideally, what you want is to have smaller hooks. But these are the same hooks that we used to rig the owner, what do you call this, the owner slow jig, the ultra slow. Okay, now with this, it's still the same. Okay, as you can see, it's sticking out. Traditionally, when you're doing inchuku, the hooks are smaller, and the idea there is that when you're dropping this down and when you're reeling it in, and all you do is actually really reel it in. And this is the reason why I wanted to do this. Okay, so basically you drop it down and then you just reel it in, and the jig just kind of swims as it does quite naturally. The fish start pecking at it, and then they get hooked by the smaller hooks. But here, this is gonna sound funny, but there are a lot of peckers here. And what we want to do is eliminate the smaller ones, and we're going to use slightly bigger hooks, because what we want is to catch like the bigger fish. So basically, as soon as the bigger fish see that there's some smaller fish trying to eat this, they'll come and then they'll bite it. Now, the hook sets on these are actually kind of simple. And by the way, there are some people that have been asking for this, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is a Isayama style hook, and actually you kind of don't need to tie this. Okay, there's a, you know, the way to do this is actually quite simple. Very, very, very uncomplicated way. Okay, so this is quite thick actually. This is all it is a this is 100, I believe. Okay, so 100 something, and this is ordinary PE cord, and this cord is actually quite it's just solid. There we go. It's solid. Okay, so basically for this, we could tie it up here and it'll be a friction fit, and that's not going to go anywhere. But just for extra security, because we want to catch those big ones, what we want is to just tie a knot there. Okay, now I'm going to zoom you guys in so that you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially for the guys that are pretty new to the channel. they haven't really see how things go here. So there we go. All right, a little bit up, huh? Alrighty. So if you're new to this channel, by the way, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today we're talking about rigging the this jig right here, which is the Z Slow Squid from Sea Falcon. Okay, dokie. So you can see that the knot is jamming, and we still have excess, which we will cut. But for the time being, what we need to do for this is to actually bind it. Now, we don't really need to do this, and I mean, a lot of people do for this is actually just kind of they actually tie the bindings last. That way you get a bit more uniform. But for us, we're gonna do this. Okay, the dogs of war agree. Okay, so like so, and then what we'll do is actually cut this. There we go. And then make sure to do it clean. Okay, and then well, we have this. As you can see, this kind of got uncompressed. What you need to do is pull on this so that the knot compresses more, and then we can continue. Now a bit of super glue, and this thing will actually we will glue it that way. You know, I mean, I could actually just make it so that the gluing bit would be later, but let's do it now because pretty sure that a lot of people would be asking, like, okay, why don't you glue that? Okay, so for you guys that are new, I usually do these in batches, and then I will glue them all up later. And there's videos of this whole process, extensively explaining basically what glues I'm using and all that. So just check around the channel. Okay, so there we go. And now all we have to do is just clean this up as per usual. Okay. And then before we finish up, let's spread that around with our magic chopstick. Ordinary chopstick right here. A lot of people use bodkins and stuff, but this is free and everyone has access to it. You could also make a point at the very end for precision work. And hey, like I said, it's free. That's why we're using it, and that's why telling people, you know, chopsticks, man, they're the best. Okay, so here, let's do this. I am just making sure that the binding actually closes correctly here, because it's, there we go, one strand is actually not in the right place. So now it is. Okay, here we go. Now I have acquired the habit of using a knife to cut so that it's close. Okay, so there we go. All right, easy peasy. That looks good. Now the thing here is that we have to measure that distance, and this thing is not easy to judge, I'm telling you. Okay, so right now what we will do, I'm gonna bring you guys out here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to make a knot here. This is what's different, okay? And what we're gonna do actually is have one longer than the other, and we're going to actually do an overhand knot here. No need for a solid ring for this. And this actually becomes kind of disposable. So after it gets banged up, you can pretty much just replace it. All right, now, if it's difficult for you, you can use your splicing hook just so you can get the, or a stick, you know, just so you'd be able to kind of make that, okay? Now what it is just an overhand, well, a double overhand or a surgeon's loop, okay? And what you want basically is to form something like this, okay? So there's the loop, okay? The loop, the hook, and then the excess. We will get a pull tool, pull this, and then the other, okay? Because what we want is to actually tighten the the loop here, okay? So we have that, okay? Now we'll go ahead and tie the other one. So put this here, okay? So upside down, okay? Upside down so it's easier. Now we will put the line here, okay? This is going to be a tad longer, just like that, okay? What you want is to pull in a little bit, because once you tighten, it'll set the distance, okay? So see, so basically we're going around like so, okay? And that forms a loop like that. You take this, the end, put it in like so, like that, okay? And this is the bit where you actually adjust, and sometimes it could be unwieldy, like sausage fingers and all that. Come in like that, tighten this up, then pull. What happens, you'll see, is that, see, just like that. Now what you need to do for this is actually pull it and create that snug knot, okay? And that will also set the distance between two hooks, as you can see there, okay? Now, as you can see, you need to tighten this a bit more. There we go. There we go. That's it. Just like that. Okay. Now later on, what's going to happen is there's still a bit more tightening that will happen. Now we have this, and we will tape this as per usual because we don't want to get in trouble. Okay. And then now we bind this. It's easy. That's all it is to it. Very, very easy. This is actually a bit more simple than tying assist hooks, although technically this is still an assist hook, right? Okay. Sure that that's tight. Okay. Get your length like so. Okay. Cut that. There we go. And then tighten up like so. Now you could use knots for this, just basically just tying onto the shank like a snell. That'll work for this. Okay, now super glue like so. Okay. Spread the glue. So all the sides have glue. And then just tie that up. Bind it as neatly and as tightly as you can. Okay. Then we'll form our knot. Make sure that that doesn't snag like the last one. And then we can go ahead and cut like so. Now, it's very important to spread that around. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get you guys zoomed out. Okay. So, by the way, guys, you can reuse this. Just put it to the side, like so. I do that. No shame in that. Save you a bit of cash. All right, so we have this. Now to attach it, you don't need a split ring, okay? So you can see there, it goes like that, okay? You really don't need a split ring for this. All you do is just take that, okay? And then, kind of the tricky part here is to actually have the hooks go through the eye. Okay, just like that. And then the other one. So basically what you want is just to loop it. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys in a bit, okay? But that was the shorter one that I've just inserted. And then here's the longer one, okay? Like so. So all it is a loop, you see? And then you tighten it just like that, okay? And then look at that. Here we go. So just like that. And then how you work it like a spoon. You basically toss it out down to deep water, okay? And then you reel it slowly. And this guy, the squid, don't have action, so they can just kind of rock back and forth a little bit or side to side like that, or just move straight. Just as long as it's not super fast, the fish, believe it or not, will bite. And this is one of the easiest ways to rig this squid. Obviously, you can rig this like an ordinary slow jig, and it'll work as well. But rigging it like this is super easy, number one. And two, it is actually very, very effective. And it's one of the ways that I love rigging it, okay? So there, that's it. That is the Sea Falcon Z Slow Squid. Very, very effective, very easy to use, and a killer in low light conditions. Alrighty, so that is it for this video. If you have questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. I always check out the like these days there's been a lot happening, so kind of very difficult for me to answer everything, but I'll get around to it, I promise. Okay, so but see, the thing is, if I see something that needs to be answered, I answer. It's just that right now I'm alone, and then there's a lot of comments. So yeah, but thank you very much for those guys that are commenting, especially those guys that are saying that they're learning from the channel, which is really the reason why the channel exists in the first place. If you haven't yet, and you you want to learn more, click on that subscribe button. If you've learned from this video, give it a thumbs up. Very, very important. And for those guys that want to support the channel more, click on that join button. It's on the side right there. And that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.